Hello, everyone. How are we doing?
Good. How are
Very
you?
amazing. Thank you.
I'm doing great as well. Congratulations on your return to Bosch.
Thank you.
Um, and so soon after we concluded the previous series. Now, I really love the title Bosch Legacy, and I was just wondering if each of you could share what you think of when you think of legacy for this series. Titus, if you want to start.
Why is it always me?
I'm
Because
sorry.
you're Harry Bosch.
No.
Take it away,
No.
Bosch.
Bosch. Oh no, it's a legacy on a lot of different levels, and I think that the legacy aspect with Harry and Maddie is that she's now become a police officer, and they have sort of formed this sort of subtextual, if you will, contract. Maddie is not overly solicitous of his advice, and he's giving her room to sort of find her way, so that there's a hesitation on his part, and so it's an interesting dance that they get to do, and at the same time he is they both kind of are obfuscating in their own way, because he's terrified and worried because he knows the dangers of the job, but he doesn't want to smother her. He's giving her the space to become her own person, and he knows that he's cast a long shadow for her. And despite that, his reputation as being this great detective and this closer, he's pissed off a lot of people in the department, and he's left, somewhat abruptly. She's finding her own way. She wants her father's guidance, and she seeks his counsel, but they do this kind of funny, odd dance that they're both kind of trying to respect each other, and the whole legacy aspect that's there, and yet he never mentions it. So she'll say something, and the one thing that he says to her that kind of resonates is, you need to decide what kind of cop you want to be. Either it's a mission or it's a job. And so we all know that for Harry, it's always been a mission, and she has this undeniable DNA inside of her where she's trying to seek this independence, but her badge placard says Bosch on it, but she's undeniably very much like her father in that she is an independent thinker, and she's already at this early point in her career making precisely the same mistakes but as they relate more administratively and by the book. She is an impulsive person in the same way that her father is. So you asked me what time it was, and I told you how to make a watch.
That was beautiful.
So
Thank you.
go.
You really laid it all out. If you ladies have anything to add, or if you don't, you can pass.
I would just say quickly, for me, the legacy, the obvious element of Maddie sort of following in her father's footsteps, but I think sort of on a meta level for all three of the characters, it's about justice. And we are all consumed with pursuing justice, each in our own individual ways. But if there is a legacy, a Bosch legacy, to me, it's justice.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And to also quickly add, obviously the themes of justice and the legacy that Titus or Bosch leaves behind. But for me, when I found out about the title, immediately I thought the legacy that Bosch left behind at the LAPD and how it affects Maddie. This legacy that he's left behind, the looks and the comments of like, oh, she's a Bosch, it's Maddie Bosch, and her desire to fill those shoes and make her father proud, but also create her own name in the force. That's how it resonated with me.
Absolutely. I love that. Now, Mimi, I know this is not like totally unprecedented, but to start from like a guest star recurring role and to get to be a regular, and now you're on the cover with the Bosches. What is that like for you to step into this new series kind of like as one of the triumvirate?
Amazing. I ain't gonna lie. It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing because from the very, very beginning, I was besotted with this character. It's a dream job. And no, it wasn't necessarily in the beginning a character that was going to run through all of the seasons. And I would say that my continuation through all 7 seasons, it has to do with my work and my portrayal, but it has a lot to do with this guy who was incredibly supportive and very engaged by our working relationship and was always pushing for the idea of more. So I think he's a big part of the reason why I've been here all along. And then for this new evolution to be the 3 of us, like, there are no words.
Well, we knew, just to add to that, we really knew when Mimi was cast, one of the really important things about Chandler was that she had to be formidable enough that the audience would be concerned for Harry.
So they'd buy it. Yeah.
And so that and I remember when the first stuff that we shot together was the courtroom things. And it was abundantly clear in that first scene where she basically snatches the covers off of him and says, wasn't your mother a prostitute? Where we had to set up all of this backstory without talking about it. And what we very quickly realized was it was on. And Mimi and I have a wonderful chemistry together, and we have great affection for each other, but we were having to play this thing, and it's one of those things when it works, it works. And everybody, we all went, well, we just got to keep this going, because when you have that, you have to exploit that, because it's too good to not do it. And that's obviously, that's a testament to Mimi's gift as an artist, but that's the way it goes.
Absolutely. It's been a privilege to see that journey from professional enemies to now unlikely allies in the fight for justice. Now, Maddie, you mentioned legacy and your new career. You've got a new partner as well. And I remember in the first episode of this new season, maybe I just subbed in the word legacy, but she was like, yeah, I know you're a legacy, but that doesn't change your behavior or how you need to behave. Can you talk about this dynamic and the tension that flares up there?
I love Denise. She's incredible. She plays my training officer this season for the Day Watch. And she does have that line. And Mitzi, who helped me, Tim and Mitzi, who both helped me, former detective and current detective, helped me. And they one of the things they said to me is, Maddie's a little salty, which is kind of a trendy word, but what it means is, I think I've been around the block, because I'm the daughter of a detective. I think I know everything, and I don't. And that's one of my favorite things about this season is Maddie thinking she knows what she's doing and then being proven so deeply and truly wrong. And Denise, her name's Vasquez, Reina Vasquez in the show. She knows that, and she's like, "Don't get ahead of yourself. Relax." I think she's the perfect person to be paired with Maddie, because she sort of tells her what's what and keeps her grounded. So
nice. Yeah,
I love it.
It's great to get to see lots of different sides, professional sides to Maddie in the new series. Now, Titus, having done this for so long, what is it that gets you most into the Bosch mood? Are there any jazz records that you play for yourself?
I've always used music over the years, and all different characters. I create like a little playlist, sort of a soundtrack. And sometimes it goes from episode to episode. I know that people automatically leap to the conclusion that I must be listening to a lot of jazz in order to, because I love jazz. I don't have the encyclopedic knowledge of jazz that Harry does. I love jazz. I don't listen to as much jazz as one might think. There have been seasons when my playlist has been Tool and Filter and Nine Inch Nails and the Deftones, and it just it really depends. I think this season, because we have the character of Mo, and there's a lot of talk about, that's their banter is talking about jazz. I think the music is starting to become more and more a part of it, which I think is important. It's always been integral to who Harry is. But once again, you asked me what time it is. I said, gotta make a watch.
And I love it. They're going to be the most beautiful watches I've ever made. So thank you. Thank you so much, guys. I can't wait for everyone to enjoy it on Amazon Freebie. They
That's
now
right.
know.
Sounds
That's
great.
Thank you,
Yes,
Tatiana.
thank you.